Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Raptors Flex Plus, where you know the flex already, fam. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 54, and I am your host, Kyle, with another episode today, Monday, March the 4th. And beautiful day here in the greater Toronto area. I'm not sure where everybody is tuning in from. You could put it in the comments. Tell me where you subbed up from. And if you're not subbed up, please sub up, like the video, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff because it helps with the algorithm, right? Help out the homie Al and be sure to sub up and like the video. For all those that are old enough to know, you know the bars right now. You know the bars. Anyways, oh man. Yo, another injury. Another injury or two, actually. Another injury or two. Like it just feels like every single time that the Raptors start playing some good solid basketball and we get excited, like, yeah, let's go for the 10th seed. Let's do this, let's do that. And then just an injury just pops up this year. I take myself back to early January after we made the trade for Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. At that time, I was like, yo, the Raptors are starting to play some good basketball, solid basketball, beat the Cavs, beat the Grizzlies, went out on the road. Like, we're playing ball, and then all of a sudden, Poeltl goes down to injury. And it's like, damn, right? Damn. And then we made the Pascal trade, and then, trade deadline came, and we have a whole new different team than what we had at the beginning of the year. But then the All-Star break came, and then after the All-Star break, we get our first 3-game win streak of the year, right? And it looks like we're starting to turn around now and play some solid basketball. But like I've been saying since the beginning of me doing these pods from like episode 1 and stuff, if you could go back and check the receipts, my whole thing was with this team, even when we had Precious Achua and all that going on with the team, we can't afford to lose Jakob Poeltl. We can't afford to lose Jakob Poeltl in the middle. And even worse than that, we can't afford to lose Scottie Barnes, who now busted up his hand, his third metacarpal. For those that don't know what the third metacarpal is, right? Because I was actually just doing some research and stuff, listening to this doctor guy on the internet. I'm not even sure how true he is. But anyways, for those that don't want to show the kids, like this is literally your third metacarpal. Yo, that's your third metacarpal. I swear to God, this guy broke his third metacarpal, like all up in here somehow, right? So when you first saw the play, it looked like Scottie Barnes like banged his right hand off of the rim going for the block on Jonathan Kuminga. But then, and like for me, I wasn't listening to the game and all that, so I'm not sure exactly what they were saying because I took my wifey out for a nice dinner on Friday. We had some drinks, so we're in the restaurant, and I'm just kind of watching the game, right? That's just like a given, right? My shorty already knows. Like the Raptors are playing, and we're going out. If we're gonna touch the road before like 9 o'clock, because generally the Raptors are playing like a 7 o'clock, 7:30 game. Game should be done by like 9:30 ish, right? So like I can still focus on you while we're outside having a good time, but I still need to like see the game and stuff. So like I saw the play, and I'm like, damn, this guy busts up his hand on the rim because right after that he's holding his hand like that, right? But then I'm not paying attention to see like he's actually holding his left hand. You know what I'm saying? So what actually happened was that when he was going up for the block with his left hand, it got caught up on Emmanuel Quickly's leg of somehow, some way, right? So let's just take a quick look at what that actually was. You know what I'm saying? Because at first I didn't see it, right? Um, let's go ahead and share that. Yeah, so at first I didn't see it. So when you look at the replay here, like you can't really even see it because Kaminga's blocking him. But look at Scottie holding his hand, yo. really and truly, he's holding his left hand. But the way that he banged it on the rim, it looked like it looked like he bust up his right hand. But check it out again. Boom, right there. You see that? Right there. Right there, fam. Right there. Right up in here. So that is how he sustained the injury. Busted up on IQ's leg. Right? And what's even crazy about that is I was looking at the post-game press conference yesterday after we beat the Hornets, which we beat them, by the way. I don't know. Like, I'm not really leading with that today because it's the Hornets. You know what I mean? We'll talk about it, but we beat the Hornets as we should. I don't, like, even with Scottie Barnes not being there, I feel like, guy, didn't they just beat us last time? Like, come on, yo. Or come on. Come on. But anyways, so yeah. Um, Scottie busted up his third metacarpal on that play. And IQ was saying that he didn't even know that it was him, right? That's what he was saying in the press conference yesterday after we beat the Hornets. He's like, "What? Someone just told me that the other day, and I had a conversation with Scottie. I didn't even know at the time." He's like, "Yo, probably I need to call him back and tell him sorry or something." But really and truly, like what happened with that play, it's just a freak injury. It's just a freak injury, you know? Like there's no way that you could really like avoid that, you know? It just happened. It was a natural basketball play. He went for the block. IQ was trying to play defense, trying to keep Kuminga off of the rim. And yeah, it happened. So now we have life without Scottie Barnes and see what that looks like. And last night we ended up losing Poeltl now. End up using Poeltl. A dislocated pinky. Bruh, what is happening here? Brock hands everywhere, bruh. Brock up. Yo, this is tough, man. This is tough to lose two players that you just can't afford to lose, right? And for me, like I always say, like my belief, I believe like Poeltl is probably like one of the most important. Like, okay, I don't want to go crazy and say he's more important than Scottie Barnes on this team because that's not really the case. But Poeltl is just as important based on the position that he plays and the fact that there's no one else on the team that can do what he can do, similar to Scottie Barnes, right? There's nobody on the team that can do what Scottie can do, and there's literally nobody on the team that can do what Poeltl can do, right? So these are two of our most important players, and they're saying that there's no structural damage to or no fracture to Poeltl's injury. So we don't really know how long he's going to be out. But they say Barnes, he could be up to a month, and they're not even sure whether they're going to do surgery or not. Listen, man, I'm all over the map right now. Talk about Scottie Barnes for a second with this whole injury thing, right? So here's where I stand on it, right? I'm going to stand on this. I said the Raptors weren't tanking, okay? And all of a sudden the Scottie Barnes injury happens and da 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 da, and you know, there are some people making some jokes about it on the last stream or whatever. Like, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, the name of the episode is Raptors Ain't Tanking, fam. And then all of a sudden, Scottie Barnes goes down with an injury. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, I get it. But listen, in my mind, the definition of tanking is building an intentionally bad team in order to secure draft picks. An intentionally bad team in order to secure draft picks. If the Raptors were really tanking, why would we bring back RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly in the trade for OJ for OG Anunoby? Why would we do that? That don't make no sense. Why would we bring back Bruce Brown in the trade with Indiana along with the 3 draft picks if we were tanking, right? If like Bruce Brown is a serviceable player. I'll get to him in a second as well too. I don't believe that's a tanking move, right? Why would we then trade away another first round pick, right? One of the ones that Indiana gave us to go bring in Kelly Olynyk and um, o- Ochai Agbaji. Like, to me, that's not like building an intentionally bad team, yo. Like, I get it. We're going to lose games. No doubt about it. We're going to lose games, yo. Especially now that Scottie Barnes is out, probably or they're saying indefinitely, right? So we're not tanking, but we're going to be losing some games. So, like, this is actually a really good spot to be in for the Raptors because you're not intentionally tanking, right? But you are putting a new renewed focus on developing younger players and getting them in situations where they're learning on the job, right? You're not just learning from film or not just learning from watching on the bench. Now, those two things are super important. You're not just learning from practice. You're able to take all of those things from practice, the film room, the things that you see on the bench, the conversations that you have with the assistant coaches and head coaches and trainers, and then bring that into the game, right? All those things that you're learning. Then you bring that into the game and you feel out now, right? With all the things that you're learning and all the things that you're working on. So renewed focus on development, number one thing for the Raptors, obviously, right? And we were going to be trying to push for a playing spot. If I'm the Raptors organization and I'm Darko Rajakovic and Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri and the rest of the team in the front office and on the bench, right? Like the coaches and stuff. The goal hasn't changed even with Scottie Barnes being out of the lineup. The goal hasn't changed. We're still pushing towards for a 10th seed, right? 10th or ninth seed. More than likely is 10th, right? Because like I was saying on the last episode, bro, you don't want to put in losing into your culture, right? Intentionally losing into your culture. You want a winning culture at all times, winning mentality at all times. Now, I get it. This is a very young team that just lost their best player and possibly losing your second most important player for an extended length of time. All right. We can have an argument about or a discussion about who the second most important player is on the team. Right. To me, it's Jakob. That's why I'm saying don't trade this guy in the offseason, all this rubbish that I'm reading online and stuff. Like, yo, we're not trading Poeltl, or maybe we will, but please don't. You know what I'm saying? My thing is don't trade him. Not at this point. But anyways, I digress from that. We're gonna lose games. We're gonna lose games with these two players not in the lineup. But at the same time, I know we just played Charlotte last night. We beat them. What was it? What we beat them? 111, 106. Like, this was not a good basketball game, yo. This is not a good basketball game, yo. And this is why, like, I believe that, like, even though we got the win last night and the Raptors mentality is not going to be trying to tank, but like, I didn't like the way that this team played against Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte. You almost gave the game away to Grant Williams down the stretch, trying to do his best Jason Tatum impression. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Grant Williams, but you're not him, bro. You're not him. And the Raptors almost gave the game away down the stretch. But there are a lot of things that I liked about this game just from individual standpoint, okay? Starting with Ochai Agbaji. If you didn't watch the game and you just looked at the stat sheet, you'd be like, yo, this guy was chucking all night. Chucking. But in my opinion, and tell me how you feel down below as well in terms of what your opinion was on Ochai's game last night. I thought he played a damn good game. A damn good game. I did not know he took 20 shots yesterday. 20 of them. He only hit 6, so he went 6 for 20 from the floor. But I thought he was getting good shots moving without the basketball, getting wide open shots. And maybe it was just like Charlotte's game plan was to like let the other guys try to beat you, try to shut down RJ, try to shut down quickly, which they couldn't shut down either of those guys, by the way, right? Like almost in a way without Scottie Barnes in there. It kind of forces mans to make like the better passes, like be on a swivel, like keep focus in the game. But I'm not gonna go out here all crazy and say they're better without Scottie Barnes because that's just a bold faced line. I would never do that. I'm not that delusional. Keep it a bean, yeah. But in terms of that development standpoint, just moving the ball, getting more comfortable with players on the court. I thought that at times the Raptors did a great job with that, especially Ochai. Especially Ochai. I was a little bit like, I was wondering at first when I first saw the starting lineup, I'm like, oh, maybe Grady's gonna be in the starting lineup today. But then Ochai was there, and I was like, for like a brief second, I was like, what? Right? I was like, maybe a Chris Boucher might start or a Grady Dick, But I understand why he was out there, right? The versatility that this guy gives you, Ochai Agbaji, on defense, right? The fact that he's able to move his feet and he's a strong guy too. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I hate talking about men like that, but in the sense of basketball, right? Strong guy, moves his feet, and he's athletic where he can get up at the rim and block you same way. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why he started in place of Scottie Barnes. Played a lot of minutes yesterday too, around 33 minutes. I thought he played well in most of those minutes. Now, even though he was getting the open shots, and whether that was the game plan for Charlotte or not, I like that he was taking the shot, and his shot form looks really good to me. His shot form looks really good to me. And the Raptors have shown that they can develop shooters, even though we just can't shoot the ball. Like the last 2 seasons or so, like the 3-point shooting is not our forte. But like when you see the development from guys like Scottie Barnes shooting the three, OG Anunoby over the years, right? He never came into the league as a shooter. Pascal Siakam over the years, he's not really a 3-point shooter, but he developed where he's like, oh, I'm not mad at Pascal taking the three. You know, when you think about this year where Grady Dick was really struggling, and then the assistant coaches and trainers and everybody's working with him. Look at him now, splashing shots all over the place. 3-point shots are in the mid 50 percentage over the last however many games now. Right? A good sample size. So I have a lot of faith in the Raptors organization to go ahead and work with Ochai Agbaji to help him develop that shot. And Ochai is going to have to want it just as bad also, right? But the shot form is there. So I'm not mad at Ochai taking the shots that he took. I'm just not happy that he didn't hit as many as I would have liked when you take 20 shots, right? Because you go play the Pelicans coming up next, you can't go 6 for 20 and expect to win the basketball game. No Scottie Barnes, no Jakob Poeltl, right? Because I'm assuming Poeltl's not playing next game, right? And to go back to the whole Scottie Barnes thing for a second, like I can't tell mans what to do. Like obviously, like my opinion doesn't even count with the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? They don't care what I think, right? But like my thought process would be if something's broken there, right? It's a fracture. Get the surgery. Get the surgery now, right? It's okay, Scottie Barnes. You've already proved yourself this year. I'm not sure how many games has he played, right? Because I think you have to play 65 games or something like that in order to be most improved player. And I'm pretty sure he's not 65 games. I think we have like 20 left or something like that. So he would probably just miss out on that. But I mean, that's a nice little notch to have in your belt if you're able to secure that type of an award, because basically you have to take a real serious step after this if you're Scottie Barnes, right? Like lead the league in scoring and double and all that type of stuff if you're going to be most improved player all of a sudden, right? Because the jump that you've taken from last year to this year, like that is most improved player worthy type of performance that he's had this year. So, but at the end of the day, this is a team sport, right? This is a team sport. It's not always about individual accolades and things of that nature. Now, I know that gets you the bag, right? But like the Raptors have shown that they'll take care of their players. I know the whole thing that's happened with Fred VanVleet and all that, but like generally, since Masai has been here, he's shown that he will take care of his players. You know, like when you look at in totality of it. So even making Scottie Barnes the face of the franchise, there's just no way they're not gonna deal with him proper when he's ready for his next contract, right? Unless he goes totally downhill the next couple seasons. But like that's not like a thing that I can foresee happening. So I think, Scottie Barnes, get the surgery, get back as quick as you can to be right for the offseason to continue building on your game, right? And then while you're just like waiting for the hand to heal and all that, there's other things you can do, man, right? You become a film junkie, right? Start dissecting film and learning how to like look at film in a way that you've never thought that you could do before, that like it was never possible. You know what I'm saying? Level up with that. There's things you can do. You can still work on your conditioning. You can run, right? I assume you could probably still run and stuff. It might be uncomfortable, but you can still do things in order to still be productive while the third metacarpal is healing. So like, I don't know. And then at that point, the Raptors, we're gonna lose some games. I don't know what's gonna happen with the draft lottery. Even if we are bottom six in record, that doesn't guarantee you the top six protected pick. It doesn't guarantee you that. It's the lottery. Remember when we moved up for Scottie Barnes? We weren't supposed to get the fourth pick that that year. We got lucky. The lottery ping pong balls blessed us, bro. But at the same time, hey man, if it, if things fall out where the Raptors don't get their top six pick, then at least like that's now done with. It's over with. You don't gotta think about that no more. You got Poeltl on the roster, and a lot of people are saying, the so-called experts, by the way, that this draft, it's not even blessed like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't know, but these guys sometimes say stuff like that, and then you find a diamond in the rough and stuff like that. Hey, yo, anyways, it is what it is. You'd love to have your pick, but at the same time, you want to build a winning mentality. My suggestion, and I can't, obviously, it's easier said than done because like, I don't want no surgery on my, third metacarpal. But hey, man, that's what I would do if it's not a life threatening thing or it's not threatening your ability to play basketball in the future, the near future, right? So I would get the surgery, but at the same time, again, what are you gonna say to mans? So yeah, man, I like what I'm seeing from the development standpoint. Last night, I thought Ochai played well. I thought Grady Dick also played well in the minutes that he got, just hitting threes and crashing the boards. A lot of the same things I was talking about in the last episode with Grady. So he's continuing to show that he's going to be a part of this Raptors core, right? Whether it's a rotational player, whether you somehow work your way into the starting lineup. But either way, this is a guy that's going to be here. And um, yeah, it's going to be tough for the Raptors to go make that run into the play-in. It's going to be tough without Scottie Barnes, you know? But like the last thing that I would want to see is Scottie not get the surgery, right? And you're saying that the hand is healed, and then you go out in the off season or something, or you come back early in training camp and then bust up your finger again, and then we're without you to start the season next year. In a critical season for the Raptors, like it will be critical because this is literally like we kind of reset it right now. I guess refreshed it. I don't want to call it reset because reset means that we totally cleared the deck, and sometimes that's why I'm saying that we're not tanking. We're losing games, but we're not intentionally just building out a bad team to lose games for draft picks, or else we wouldn't have gave away draft picks, and we wouldn't have got back some solid players that are real NBA players in some of those trades that we just made for OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, etc. You know. But while we're on the conversation with injuries, here's where people can kind of have a little bit of a leg to stand on when they're talking about tanking. Was Bruce Brown really injured, guys? Because I never heard nothing about it. All of a sudden, I see it's right knee inflammation. Like, bruh, bruh, you hurt, yo? I don't know, man. I don't want to like call out man's like, oh, you're not really hurt. Like, yo, man. I know like little bumps and bruises I got. Like sometimes I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete or anything, but I don't know, man. You know, if it was a playoff game, would he have played? That's the question, you know. But at the end of the day, Bruce Brown didn't play last night either, which could lead us to be like the Raptors might be tanking. But in my mind, again, I'm saying the Raptors are just developing their young guys, right? Grady Dick is playing. Ochai Agbaji is playing. Emmanuel Quickly is playing. RJ Barrett is playing. Kelly Olynyk's out there. Poeltl was out there. Not too sure what's happening with the dislocated pinky, but either way, if it's just a dislocation, that's not something that's going to keep him out for 2 months. Right? Like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I don't think that's going to take him out to the end of the season. But if the Raptors decide that, hey, we're going to shut you down because we don't want to cause any further damage, hey, man, it's development time, right? So, yeah, man, at this point, um, if Bruce Brown just needs to get his body right and ready because you want to be able to have right medicals and all that if a trade gets made at the draft or in the off season, whatever that happens, like call a spade, yo. He's probably not going to be a long-term piece of the puzzle in the Raptors drive back to the championship over the next few years, right? Cuz that's what we want to do. We want to get back into the championship. We want to get back into the playoffs as a real contender, right? So my thing is, get these guys healthy, man. Scottie Barnes, get healthy. Jakob Poeltl, no need to rush you back, right? Let the young guys play. Every now and then, it looks like Kelly Olynyk might be out with an injury because he had back spasms like a week ago or something like that, right? So that's another player that I don't know, man. You lose Kelly, who's starting at center? I guess it might be Jonte Porter as your starting center. That's not looking too good, you know. But and that's on our respect thing too, man. I don't want to just say that he's like that's no good. What I mean is I don't believe that he's a starting caliber center in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He can give you minutes. He can give you minutes here and there, but starting center, nah. Respectfully. So yeah, man. That's kind of where the Raptors be at right now. And we got the Pelicans on Tuesday. I don't know, more development, yo. More development. That's all I can say about these guys right now, yo. More development. Cause it's not looking good with no Scottie Barnes. It's not, you know? Like I don't want to sit here and just be like, one of those Raptors fans that just have like um rose colored glasses on and all that. Like, nah, not doing that, yo. Not doing that. But yeah, a couple of other quick notes yesterday from around the NBA. Guy, the Warriors lost by 52. By 52 to the Boston Celtics yesterday, huh? 52. Yo, man. And the Warriors acting like nothing's wrong yesterday. Like, yo, we tried a thing and it didn't work out, and we found ourselves down 82 to 30 at halftime. Like, guy, your starters got pulled at like halftime. Is that what happened? At halftime? Yo, man. That's a bad game, dog. They had a bad game, yo. And Jalen Brown and had some words for them because they're trying to sag off of Jalen Brown. That was like the game plan. And Draymond's like, yeah, we killed that game plan like 15 minutes before he went out on the floor. And Steve Kerr said, yeah, we tried a thing, but I don't know. Like, bro, y'all lost by 52, man. 52. Now I know that like there's 82 games in the regular season, but I don't feel like championship teams lose by 52, man. That's gotta bruise the ego a little bit. And if it doesn't, I feel like there's something wrong with that, yo. It's like y'all are getting like fat on all these championships, thinking that y'all still got all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good that like if the Warriors are still confident and everything, but championship teams do not lose by 52 points. Straight up. Is that what they lost? Yeah, 52. Horrible, yo. Just horrible. So yeah, man. You know, LeBron James beat the record, or not beat the record, but set a new milestone for 40,000 points the other night. I think it was Saturday night. Yeah. And here's what I'm gonna say about that, man. Because it renews all the stuff about who's the best player or who's the greatest player of all time and all sorts of things. And then you have people using stats and people using championship stats and this, that, and the third, man. Listen, LeBron James is one of the greats of all time, yo. One of the greats of all time. There's no doubt about it. Anyone that says LeBron James not one of the greatest of all time, I think you're hating. I really do. You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to say that, he's better than Kobe or that he's better than MJ. You don't have to say any of those things, yo. But if you're telling me LeBron James isn't one of the greatest players of all time, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't know if I can really have a conversation with you about ball, yo. I don't know. You know? Like 40,000 points in a career that had spanned 21 years and counting, that's impressive enough. That is impressive enough. Also, he's like one of the tops in assists, tops in rebounds from a stat standpoint. He's one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest. He took his team, whether it was the Heat or the Cavs, to the NBA Finals, was it 8 or 9 years in a row? That is a feat. That is a feat. Now, the fact that he's lost in the finals more times than he's won in the finals, that's a bad look, right? That's a bad look in terms of the conversation about who is the greatest basketball player of all time. But like, I'm just talking about the 40,000 point milestone tonight. At some point, I'm going to have this real conversation about the GOAT debate, right? Because I've had the channel going for long enough now. And the Raptors, man, we ain't making the playoffs, bro. We might make the play-in if we get lucky. But to come out of the play-in, man, I don't know, dog. So I'm looking at some other NBA content while the Raptors continue to build out. But like, anyways, man, just a little shout to LeBron James for the milestone, because if everyone could do it, they would do it, man. But everyone can't do it. So y'all gotta show some respect, you know what I'm saying? And appreciate what we're watching in front of us at 21 years in the league doing what he's doing, yo. It's just incredible. So congratulations to LeBron James for setting that new career milestone. Yeah, man, I think that is about it for today. So yeah, appreciate everyone for your support. If you are not, actually, hold on. Oh, whoa, what am I doing here? If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And if you're not subbed, please sub up, like, share, all that. Help with the homie Al. And be sure to sub up to help the algorithm. You feel me? Yeah, man. So yeah, yo, I appreciate everybody out there for the support and love. Yeah, dog. I don't know what I'm doing next episode. I have like some other like breakout episodes that I want to do. You know? So I've been trying to figure things out recently. I've been kind of busy for the most part. But yeah, I got some things that are kind of brewing and brewing in the background. So yeah, that's it for today though. All right. So yeah, man. That's it. It's me, guy.